get a quick route back into the game and have to throw more players forward as it goes on, those chances will appear for Arsenal to make the game safe in the second.
The visitors do get back underway. Here's McCulloch. All the way across that line now, Burnley. They did in the first half and just play themselves into it, get themselves back in the rhythm. Get as many players on the ball as possible. I have to say, I was quite impressed with Burnley in that first half, Nick. Although they weren't able to test Remy Mitchell as much as they would have liked, they still did create a number of chances. And he looked dangerous in the wide areas.
Yeah, that's right, Max. And they look quite difficult to break down as well. Arsenal have had some joy when they've played decisively, but in general look a really well-organised side. Tony Fliskirk got his team very well drilled indeed. They do pose a threat going forward as well. And of course, let's not forget that they're without Michael Mellon, who's in exceptional form for them this season as well. So without a key player in their ranks, I think they've coped pretty well, and I don't think that the Burnley boss will be too displeased with what he saw from his side in the first half either.
Burnley currently ninth in the under-18 Premier League North out of 14 teams, just 7 points after 6 games, but you wouldn't know it from how they've been performing today. They are actually prolific goal scorers in that division. Only 3 teams have scored more than their 14 goals. It is in defence where they do struggle at times. They've conceded 10 already in the league, and then of course here to Arsenal. And probably the biggest stat is that they've only won 2 of their last 6 games in all competitions. So on paper it was going to be an uphill battle for them against a high-flying Arsenal team under Dan Machichi. They have proven their worth, that's for sure.
Yeah, when they've pressed high up the pitch as they're doing now, they also force some errors as they've done again.
Here's Smith-Ferguson with the ball, and it's in the back of the net. I think it's Jackson Kopacz who's the scorer. Well, just like that, after lifting possession back to Burnley. It's a right effort into the back. In fact, it was Will Hugill with the finishing touch. Nothing that Remy Mitchell could do to stop it. The questions to be asked of Arsenal there, gifting the ball back to Burnley so easily.
That's it, Max, and it's what we were just discussing as well. And Burnley have pressed high up the pitch. They have occasionally forced errors from Arsenal, and it was the case there, unfortunately, with Dan Machichi's side. And once the ball was worked to Will Hugill, it's an exemplary finish, it really is. Struck powerfully, struck low, giving Remy Mitchell absolutely no chance at all. Within 3, the Clarets have rewarded a decent performance so far. They're back level. And Arsenal now are going to need to find a way to turn the game back in their favour.
They've certainly given a good account of themselves, Burnley, today. And that's no less than they deserved. Brilliant finish into the bottom corner from Will Hugill. Should be said, actually, Will Hugill, a Burnley season ticket holder. Works his socks off for the team, as we've seen throughout this game. He joined Burnley from Blackburn to sign a scholarship back in 2020, and most of his appearances this season have come for the under-23s. In fact, all of them have come for the under-23s. For the under-18s this term, marks it with a goal. Question is, how do Arsenal react to that? Firmino. Edwards still inside the area, and it's a low effort, again curled towards the far corner. This time by Arsenal in their lead.
Well, Max, you asked the question, how will Arsenal respond to that setback? And I think the answer is pretty emphatically, because straight away they've gone back up the other end. Undeterred, it was a really nice run from Firmino, and once Edwards just gets that half a yard of space, the form he's in, you expect the net to bulge. Struck it really well, but just couldn't quite bend it enough to get it inside the far post.
It's underneath that one. Arsenal do win the throw-in on the far side. Referee just a bit of a 2 there to Jackson Kopacz, who didn't like a couple of decisions. They are are a very vocal team, the Clarets.
Jackson Kopak at Northern Ireland Youth International. Joined the club from Everton last season. Made his debut at under 16 level and has now progressed up ranks into the under 18 side.
Now you can sense that though Burnley have got a bit of a spring in their step every time that Arsenal are looking to stretch them. Look at how organised they are, how mobile. And again, I said it just a second ago, how vocal they are as well. Everyone's organising each other. Get the back in positions like these. Back to Arsenal not being contested.
See, yeah, they play this way and they'll continue to do so. Of course, playing out from the back, people will often highlight errors when it comes, but it's also worth pointing out that when you manage to beat the press, it gives you so much space higher up the pitch. And with the creativity that Arsenal have in the final third, a really, really crucial part of their game plan to give space to the likes of Flores and Sego Jr.
Will Couch was making good strides on the right-hand side until he met Josh Robinson. It's given away by Bandera. Barres can recycle possession and go all the way to the two centre-halves, Jack Leckie. Now Charlie fourth half. Cleared back. Former Newcastle United academy player, actually. Jack Leckie spent 13 years with the club before joining Burnley last summer. Having initially played for their under-16s on trial before proving himself, and here he is, forming a really effective partnership in the Clarets back line, actually, with Dan Sassy. Two very physical defenders. So far, completely nullified Keon Edwards.
Yeah, which is no mean feat. He's had an excellent start to the season, Keon Edwards.
Kopak. Turning into Flores. For Barres sends the ball well out of play and out for an Arsenal throw-in. Robinson. You can hear Burnley players shouting, box them in. Don't let them out from there. As Nick said, Arsenal very well drilled in these sorts of scenarios. They know how to play their way out of danger. The issue was, just a few moments ago, playing their way into it. And they've recovered since then. Getting back to their control on the ball. Lego Jr. inside to in towards the path of Ruel Walters. The move breaks down, and here comes McCulloch. Changing a couple of passes with Barres before losing out to Walters. Now Edwards, powerful forward, able to hold off a couple of challenges to switch play to find Kamina. Tego Jr. couldn't bring that one into his half, but it's okay. And there is there. James Sweet popping up at right back this time. Flores Marker is twisting and turning, finds some space. It's still Flores. Locked on its way through to goal. Now to safety on this near side.
Excellent play by Flores, really tormenting his marker, getting into the penalty area. Once he's there, well, they can't touch him then. And eventually the shot, I think, was just about spilled away to safety, causing problems for Kasper in the Burnley goal.
Foran into James Sweet. Done so well getting into the box, Sweet. Couldn't pick the pass this time. Burnley can break. Smith-Ferguson. Well, Jackson Kopak continued his run. Again, well read by Josh Robinson. He's done that so well, the left-sided centre-back. Able to just track his man across the field, fill the gaps, read the danger, and then pick out those passes.
Yeah, he's really impressed, isn't he, Robinson? The reading of the game it's really stood out for me. Decision making as well, having made the intervention. Arsenal at the other end now looking to come forward themselves, but only able to get it clear for now.
Flores. Given away, and Culloch. A few of those where he has burst forward from fullback. He opted against it this time. Ball's gift back to Foran now with Josh Robinson, who's fresh off the back of making his England under-18 debut. Actually linking up with one of his former coaches, Ryan Gary, helping former Arsenal coach record his first win against Russia, a 3-0 win, so a clean sheet for Josh Robinson. Of course, working with someone who will know very well on the international stage as well. That level of trust can only help a young player continue to develop on the international stage. Or stepping out from the back and just catching Kamina on the back foot. Looks as though Arsenal are gearing up to make a change on the touchline. They'll make sooner rather than later. Interesting to see who it is who does come off the field. Well, it's going to be Zakor, who had that incident off the ball during the first half. Hopefully that's not an injury for the Arsenal centre-back, but he is replaced by the versatile Bradley Ibrahim, who usually plays in midfield. It'll be interesting to see if he slots into the back line. He has already played as a defender this season. I think he might be in midfield, and Bandera looks to have moved into one of the more attacking areas of the pitch in midfield. There's Hugo. Only not waiting for Arsenal to settle or to get back into shape. And they do win a corner. Actually, Nick, it looks as though James Sweet's come out to the right-hand side, so he's now going to be playing right wing-back. And in turn, Roa Walters slotted in on the right side of the back three.
Yeah, that's right, and that just gives Bradley Ibrahim that chance in midfield to utilise those excellent passing qualities that he has. A couple of assists last season for the under-18s. He's really highly regarded. Fine distributor of the ball.
In comes the corner, dealt with at the near post. Josh Robinson it was underneath it. Pressing from Arsenal, forcing Burnley all the way back. A warm round of applause from Dan Machichi on the sideline. Arsenal under-18s head coach won't be happy until his side are back in possession and back in front. Excellently read by James Sweet as he gets into the box again. There are options in there. One of them was Kyan Edwards, who couldn't gather it. Rashford into midfield. Now here comes Jackson Kopak on the left-hand side. Rashford's the option on the overlap. Kopak's gone back infield. Nice bit of interplay to find Hugo, popping up in a similar position to where he fired home the equaliser. This time it's blocked. There's another dangerous cross into the area. Remy Mitchell, as he has done throughout this entire game so far, comes out to confidently claim.
Yeah, really commanding goalkeeping. It wasn't an easy take, that, because he had to come through a few players to make sure that he got to the ball, and once he got there, to make sure that he didn't drop it, because Burnley had Smith-Ferguson and Rashford in close proximity, but good goalkeeping again from Mitchell. And what I really liked was that having claimed the cross, he then immediately looked to get Arsenal going on the attack. Dan Machichi has already gone to his bench and made a substitution. Arsenal do have some really interesting, exciting options still available to them. They need to call upon them, the likes of Amani Richards and Timmy Henry-Davis, to name just two of them.
Here's Sago Jr. It's just behind Flores. Arsenal still in possession. This time it does go to the Mexico Youth International. To Roel Walters stepping out of the back three. Now Bradley Ibrahim. First few touches for him after joining the action. Robinson out to Kamina. Sweet back into Walters. Now Foran. It's Flores again, using that low centre of gravity to evade not one but two challenges. Firing a strike towards goal, but more speculative.
I say, Max, Burnley have really impressed me after the break. They've been very compact and disciplined in defence. That's ensured that Arsenal haven't been able to really get too many clear sights of goal at all. There were times during the first period where Arsenal were able to cut through with some really nice incisive passing, but Burnley have cut off some of those avenues and look dangerous still when going forward. In terms of a textbook on the road performance, hasn't been too much wrong with their display at all here, the Clarets, and I'm sure Phyllis Kirk will be really pleased with what his side have shown in the first, 63 minutes or so of this game.
Flores again, equally matched by Keelan Williams, who even wins the throw-in for his side. It's an interesting competition, this one, if you're unaware of the Premier League Cup. It was introduced back in 2017. The aim was to add another competitive edge with knockout football, similar to the FA Youth Cup just earlier in the season. Split into 7 groups of 4 teams, with clubs playing each other once in the group stage, home or away. And the 7 group winners and the best runner-up, who's decided by total points and then goal difference and then head-to-head, advance to the quarter-finals. The knockout ties are all one-off matches, decided by extra time if level after 90 minutes, and then penalties. Arsenal looking to break into the latter stages of the competition, hopefully challenge the likes of Manchester City and Chelsea, the 2 previous winners of the trophy. They do have to overcome these types of matches to cement their place there. Of course, these 2 teams both winning their opening game. They're level at the top of the table, Burnley edging it on goal difference. So 3 points today for the Gunners would be huge. There's Flores again. Now Khan Edwards. 2 step-overs in there for good measure before he's forced back to Flores. Edwards again. Oh, he's looking to find that yard, which he has. And it whistles just wide of the post. There was a deflection on it. Oh, the way that the Burnley players are reacting, it will be a corner kick.
Yeah, it's a goal-saving deflection as well, because I think had that not just nicked a Burnley player on the way through, it would have nestled in the bottom corner. Once more, though, Burnley with all outfield players inside their own penalty area, making it so difficult for Arsenal to get an effort in at goal. And when it eventually came from Edwards, just so many of them that he couldn't get it through on goal.
Another dangerous ball, this time from Flores. Goalkeeper Charlie Casper, uncharacteristically this afternoon, waving that one over his head. Will be another corner kick to Arsenal.
Yeah, and he was helped out by Keelan Williams, because having got his punch out all wrong, Taylor Foran was waiting at the back post and would have had a simple task of just knocking it home had the Burnley defender not been on red alert to clear.
Bandera stood over it again. Kamina was short. Bandera does loft it in towards Bradley Ibrahim. Now Sweet. Sago Jr. buying some space on this right-hand side. Good work by him, and it has nestled in. Well, Arsenal, after being so unfortunate with deflections throughout this 66 minutes, finally managed to benefit from a stroke of luck. And it's Charles Sago Jr., a man who recently has been in the headlines for striking late. Well, he's the one who could have potentially grabbed another winner today. It's Arsenal 2, Burnley 1.
It's excellent play from Sago Jr. to get into that position, just a quick change of feet to enable him to get into that area to cross the ball in low. It took a touch off an unfortunate Burnley defender, and once it had done, Charlie Casper, I think, was slightly wrong-footed. Didn't expect it to come back towards him, and unfortunately for Burnley number one, it's just squirmed underneath his body, just about crossed the line. But Sago Jr. having such a good start to the season. Again, here he might be the player to grab the headlines for Arsenal.
I'm not sure the Arsenal players will mind who scores it, how it goes in. The important thing is that it did go in. And Arsenal, for the second time today, managed to break down what is a very resolute Burnley back line. But this is exactly where Burnley were dangerous last time. Right on the counter-attack after Arsenal weren't entirely settled following the half-time interval. We need to be careful now, the Gunners, just to make sure that they do maintain their shape. Staying on the ball like this will obviously help. Walters, nice bit of play from him.
That's it, Max, isn't it? I think now they just need to manage the game for a couple of minutes. Try and keep hold of possession and just look for those gaps which might start to eat away. But certainly, if Arsenal are still 2-1 ahead in 10 minutes' time or so, Burnley will look to chase the game. They'll utilise their bench, and with the talent that Arsenal have in the final third, could lead to those gaps being left. Burnley look for an equaliser, of course, with only top spot ensuring progression to the quarter-finals as well. Vitally important for Burnley, I guess, not to lose this game. A draw would leave the destiny of both teams in their own hands, having won their first match.
I think it would be a situation that Arsenal wouldn't want to get themselves into following a draw. Because then it's almost a straight shootout in the next game to see who can get that better goal difference.
That's it, and that means that Burnley now are going to have to just really throw players forward as this game goes on, because they're 3 points behind Arsenal. They're making it very difficult for themselves to get through, and of course there's only one second-place team that will join the 7 group winners in the quarter-finals as well.
Just a reminder that this is just the group stage at the moment, so even if it is a draw, it will be a point shared by each team. At the moment, Arsenal look destined for all 3. Sweet into Sago Jr., the goal scorer of the second goal, rather fortuitously. Did so well to set up the crossing position before it cruelly deflected off a Burnley player's foot past Casper in goal. Edwards laying it back for Ibrahim. Now Sweet. Oh, that's loose, and Dane McCulloch can pull clear on the left-hand side. In towards Hugo. Options on the right-hand side for him. It is crossed in towards the substitute striker who has come on, Ryan Tiofo. Referee's happy to It was for a second, give advantage to Burnley, but a crunching challenge from Mauro Bandera. And Dane McCulloch. He's not a weak player by any stretch of the imagination, McCulloch. He's been playing senior football for some time. He's never going to go down easily. Actually became Northern Irish side Portadown's youngest ever player when he made his first team debut at 15 years and 121 days old back in April 2019. Back on his feet now, and Burnley back on the attack. It's a decent looking ball in, and Remy Mitchell managed to get his whole body behind it as it's safely headed into his hands.
Yeah, been impressed by Remy Mitchell's handling today, and okay, that one was straight at him, but once again, absolutely no room for error there, because if he's to spill that ball out, there's plenty of Burnley players in striking distance to really make him pay.
Really nicely retrieved by Flores. He looked off balance for a second, managed to kill the ball enough to take it into his path. And a switch of play to find James Sweet. Match isn't as good. Following challenge was. Arsenal still in possession. Bandera. Now Robinson. You can hear Rua Walters shouting, keep moving it. It's perhaps sense that Burnley are tiring a little. Culloch back on his feet and winning the headers. Header forehand. Huge header there in defence. Kyan Edwards has just hunched over in the Burnley half. Do wonder whether he's going to be okay to continue. Might have taken one off the ball there.
Yeah, I think he's going to need some treatment here. Arsenal's number 9. Referee's just striding over to him. He's back to his feet now, which is good to see. Referee's just having a word, and I think Edwards is going to be okay.
Meanwhile, 2 changes for Burnley. Number 11 going off. Cade Ratchford had an early opportunity to score, and the other one, Jackson Kopak, both leaving the field. Chance for Tony Philliskirk just to freshen things up a bit. Sean Eteluku, the man running onto the pitch now. Looks like he'll be occupying the right winger position. The other substitute was Tremaine Eastman on the ball now. To McCulloch. Joe Barres stretching play out to the right-hand side, and a first opportunity for Eteluku to run at his man. Arsenal stand firm and win the goal kick.
Yeah, Eteluku, really versatile. He can play as a fullback or as a winger, which I think is where we're going to see him here. But he's also played as an attacking midfielder as well in the past. Made a few appearances for Tony Philliskirk last term as well. And Tremaine Eastman, well, he comes with a bit of pedigree. He represented both Manchester United and Manchester City en route to reaching the Clarets. And again, has that versatility. He can play out wide. He can play as a number 10 as well.
Ibrahim taking a bit of a sore one from Will Hugill. Sweet will go short from the resulting free kick. Back to Walters, and now Foran. To Robinson. Flores. Twisting and turning. He'll do this all game. Excellent work by James Sweet to win back possession and then switch of play to find Flores again. Mina had made the infield run for him. Flores keeps going. Burnley can't keep that one in, and it will be another Arsenal corner.
Do you know what, Max? We've seen that on a few occasions this afternoon. James Sweet running the ball for Arsenal in really important areas and then distributing it really intelligently. As we suspected now, the game's starting to become more open as Burnley look to chase that all-important equaliser. They've made a couple of attacking changes as well. James Sweet has had a really tidy game for the Gunners for the most part. Of course, heavily involved in that opening goal where he was fouled and won the Gunners a penalty. On that occasion there, just switching play really nicely to find the dangerous Flores in space.
Edwards again holding it up against 3 Burnley defenders before committing the foul. It's a real handful for opposition defenders to try to cope with. Burnley have done really well against him, it must be said. The defensive partnership of Dan Sassy and Jack Lackey. Burnley go long. One by Robinson. Now Bandera. Good work in midfield from him, but just took on a bit too much. Burnley can come forward again. Ryan Tiofo in possession. Burnley do win a corner kick. Now, this could be dangerous from an Arsenal point of view. As we mentioned before, plenty of height in the Burnley side. Another test for Remy Mitchell in the Arsenal goal. It comes then. It's high and deep towards Sassy at the far post, headed back in towards the penalty area. Not entirely sure how that ended up at Remy Mitchell's feet. He got down to it, got 2 hands behind it. Was able to safely retrieve it for Arsenal.
Yeah, almost some parallels there with Arsenal's second goal, where an attempted clearance went back towards goal, and thankfully for Arsenal, Remy Mitchell able to get both hands to the ball and keep it from squirming over the line.
Sweet infield to Bradley Ibrahim. Chance for him to run at the Burnley back line, perhaps. Usually plays a lot deeper in the Arsenal midfield, Ibrahim. In fact, it's worth noting that we said that Mauro Bandera was going to push on a bit. It looks like they've reversed that decision, and Bandera, as he was in the first half, he's just parked in front of the Arsenal back line as the deepest Gunners midfielder. That's just giving Ibrahim a bit more licence and freedom to get forward. Here's an opportunity carved out by Bandera. Sego Jr. out to Flores. Left-hand side of the box now. Still Flores. It's a good cross, but well read again by Burnley, who thump it clear.
Yeah, excellent awareness. Dane McCullough, I think it was, who got across and just able to get to that ball in front of the waiting Arsenal attacker. I think had it have made its way through to a red shirt, it would have been 3-1 and game over. As it is, Burnley able to clear the danger and keep their hopes alive in this game.
And they come now, the visitors, into the channel for Ryan Tiofo to chase. Really well dealt with yet again by Josh Robinson. Been one of the standout players for me in this game, Robinson. Every single question that's been asked of him, he's been able to come up with the answer.
Does so well there, and the fact they even managed to win the throw for Arsenal as well, just to alleviate any pressure that could have come had Burnley been able to try and build up a head of steam. Really excellent defending. I'm with you, Max. I think he's been brilliant today. One of Arsenal's best players for sure.
Lecky just a bit short of options, passing out from the back, but he did find Burras. It goes again to the Burnley midfielder. Now McCulloch to deliver from deep. Mina did just enough on the left-hand side to ensure that Burnley didn't retrieve the cross. A little bit of work for Kamina to do, and he's given away a free kick in another dangerous position for Burnley. Just under 10 minutes to go here. Arsenal leading by 2-1. Burnley with another opportunity to send forward their towering centre-backs.
Yeah, and Burnley just starting to build up some momentum here. Arsenal will need to deal with this. I think it's going to be an in-swinger from Dane McCulloch. Both those centre-halves have come forward. It's going to be a tricky one this. You get the sense of Remy Mitchell and his defence.
This is the beauty of cup football. It's all or nothing in this competition. Although we are still only in a group stage, a point would make the world of difference for Burnley. Be sure they're going to go for this one. And it goes from McCulloch. It's a flat delivery. And it's straight into the chest of Remy Mitchell, who again will just kill a few seconds here. Not do anything silly, and just ensure that his teammates are fully set and ready to get forward in their own time. Disappointing delivery from a Burnley perspective, Nick.
Oh, absolutely. Having committed the two centre-halves forward, packed out the box with Burnley players, it was just too flat, really. And to be honest, it was a simple one for Remy Mitchell, who could end up being called upon again here, though that's really, really good defending once more.
Josh Robinson again with the vital interception. Now here goes Sego Jr., who is brought down as he got into the Burnley half. Imagine that should be a yellow card for a cynical challenge. The referee just happy to give a word of warning.
Yeah, I think in general this game's been played in quite a good spirit, and despite that, Max, I must say I was pretty surprised not to see a yellow card brandished there. It was a cynical foul, really. Sego Jr. had got himself into a good position and was set to advance towards the Burnley goal.
Walters out to James Sweet. Work by him to find Ibrahim. Two players for company for the Arsenal substitute. So goes back to Bandera before getting the return pass. Burnley have committed numbers forward here. Hugo finding Ryan Tiofo again. Only one player in the penalty area, but he's done well to find him. It's an excellent cross. It's an even better finish. And just like that, Burnley managed to pull level. It's Arsenal 2, Burnley 2.
The substitutes combine to really, really devastating effect for Burnley. I have to say, I initially thought that Tiofo had got too much on the cross, but as it was perfectly picked out to the back post. And it's an excellent finish, it really is. Remy Mitchell, absolutely no chance. Burnley have kept plugging away. They've looked dangerous throughout, and now they've got their rewards with just, 6 minutes or so left to play. You could see Taylor Foran, how dejected he looked, how disappointed he looked. Because Arsenal, done so much hard work in quelling the threat of their visitors. It's allowed the substitute to reach that ball at the back post, and once he had, it was an excellent finish. Must be said, really difficult to control that, to get the ball back down and across goal, but was able to do so. And Burnley, for the second time in this game, have responded to going behind in the best possible fashion, and with 5 minutes to go, it's Arsenal 2, Burnley 2.
Two league leaders really sparked into life in this second half. It was only 1-0 at half-time. The game has been so topsy-turvy since. That's the latest twist in the tale. Excellent finish by Jermaine Eastman. Arsenal just need to make sure that they Don't panic here. Burnley are sensing blood at the moment. Plenty of other Premier League Cup games going on at the moment. The other game in this group, West Ham against Everton. Next up for Arsenal in this competition is Everton on November the 27th, with Burnley hosting West Ham. It's an away clash for Dan Machicci's side, and one that they'll need to win if the score remains like this. Robinson forced to go backwards to Sweet. Foran. Just hear the level of organisation here from Burnley. Their centre-backs, I think it's Jack Leckie, screaming at his teammates, telling them to press. You know, there's an opportunity to cause an upset. Arsenal still playing at their own pace and finding spaces like this. Sango Jr. continued his run. Dane McCulloch read it well, but Arsenal do still force a throw-in. Opportunity to set up higher up the pitch. Just under 3 minutes to go. Before we find out if there's any time added on. Here goes Sweet, bursting into the box. Decent delivery. Good at the near post by Jack Leckie. Feels like this final 2 minutes is going to be an exercise of attack against defence as Arsenal push to restore their lead for a third time this afternoon. Comina back to Bandera. Sweet once again on the right touchline. It's high and hopeful, his delivery. Headed clear by Burnley. Nice turn from Sweet. Get away from Will Couch. Final ball is lacking though. One back by Bandera. Now Sango Jr. out towards Flores. Bandera again. Sweet. Seeing plenty of the ball, James Sweet, on this right-hand side. Bandera pushes forward to try and make things happen. Kyan Edwards unable to gather the ball in his path. Burnley will clear, but the ball will come back mere seconds later. No rest for the Clarets defenders in the final stages of this game. Bandera again. Now Comina. James Sweet, isolated this time, one-on-one, a chance to run at his marker, Dane McCulloch. Good play by Sweet, and then when it came back to Sango Jr., he just knew, with two players closing him down, to go for power. Couldn't keep his strike down. Sails harmlessly over the crossbar, and Burnley can eat into a bit more time here.
I have to say, it was really nice, patient build-up play from Arsenal. Sweet once more, highly involved. Once he'd cut inside McCulloch, it was a right option to pick out Sango Jr. I think he was slightly rushed into the shot, ended up leaning back too much, and as a result, just guiding it well over the bar. But we'll see how much stoppage time is to be added on. There was none in the first half. I'd expect a couple of minutes here and maybe just about enough time for one of these sides to carve out one more opportunity to try and win this game and put themselves in pole position to reach the quarterfinals.
It's James Sweet again. A lot of the Arsenal attacks in this second half have come from this right-hand side and with him as well. He had Flores ahead of him. Flores rides the challenge to get into the box. Sweet's there again. Several Arsenal players now in the penalty area. One of them's Bradley Ibrahim. Back to Flores, and Sango Jr. was there again. Pass just couldn't find its intended target. Foreign will have a chance to launch one final attack for Arsenal as we tick into the second minute of stoppage time. Sweet goes down. That will be a free kick for Arsenal. So just how many minutes are we able to play here? Is this the final opportunity for Arsenal to get a ball into the box? Scores locked at 2-2. Will be a point for each side if it stays this way, but Arsenal do have an opportunity now to steal the victory and claim all 3 points.
Yeah, so important that Arsenal get this delivery right. I think it's going to be Flores. Bandera's there as well. It's a tricky one for Charlie Casper because you'd expect a cross. The shot is still very much on, and that's why he's got that two-man wall there.
We can hear Dan Machichi saying, get Tino on the in-swinger. Tino Quamina runs over. Join Bandera and Flores over the ball. Bandera had his eyes set on this one. Will be Quamina. And it's high, and it's wide, and it's over the crossbar, and it's going to end in a draw here at London Colney. It's not the result that the Gunners wanted, especially when they led the game for so long. It was Marcelo Flores who got them off to a good start in the first half, sending Casper the wrong way from the penalty spot after James Sweet had been brought down in the area. Then it turned pretty disastrous after half-time. Will Hugill firing into the bottom corner after Arsenal had gifted back possession to Burnley. Then just like that, Arsenal were able to get themselves back in front. Charles Sargo Jr. with some more brilliant work in midfield to find a bit of space inside the box. And his cross was deflected in to restore the Gunners' advantage. But then was just latched on to a very deep cross from fellow substitute